Things don't always look the way you want them to. You know it's gonna make me crazy, and I didn't want to fall, but you tried to understand and look at us now. You give me more than I was asking for. You give me such good loving. You have faith. I'm so glad it came around. Ooh, 'cause you give me such good love, yeah. It's overwhelming the way you show me. If it's true that I can feel your love in a kiss, ooh, then you're taking me deeper while you're lifting me up into the sweetest places. Let's keep rising above. You give me more than I was asking for. Yeah, you give me such good love, and you have faith. I'm so glad I came around. You give me such good love. I know you wanted to blame me for being afraid. I didn't know that it could be this way. Cause you give me more than I was asking for. Ooh, you give me such good love, and you have faith. I'm so glad that I came around. You give me such, you give me such, oh, it is such good. It's the best love that I have ever had. Oh, you're gonna give me such. Oh, 'cause you give me more, you give me more, you give me more than I ever asked for. Yes, you give such good loving, yeah. If ever you leave me, please, baby, leave me the car. 'Cause I'm gonna need it to drive myself wherever you are. Yeah. Hey, if ever you leave me, please, baby, leave me the house. 'Cause I'm gonna need somewhere to plan my strategy to keep this whole thing from going south. Hey, and I know that right now you say that it's forever. Oh, and I know that right now you say I'm the only one. But we still haven't done. Oh, if ever you leave me, if ever you're thinking of breaking my heart, then this is, do me carefully. You'll never find someone who loves you more, who loves you more, who loves you more. Oh, if ever you leave me, if ever you leave me, if ever you leave me, if ever you, oh, if ever you leave me, please, baby, leave me the dog. 'Cause I'm gonna need some serious loyalty. 'Cause my heart's gonna be locked out in the fog. Hey. Ooh, and I know that right now you say that it's forever.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to ACA Live, where we are committed to bringing you the absolute finest in Milwaukee's local music scene. Tonight, we have an incredible performer for you. I'm so excited to introduce him to you, and many of you out there probably already know him. He's been a Milwaukee musician staple for, a number of years, and is known for his incredible style, his amazing voice, his sense of humor, and any number of things. He's from The Ordinary Heathens and does his solo show, and just released an album 1 year ago, which we're going to have a lot of fun talking about. I will be back halfway through the show to get to know Phil just a little bit more, but for now, I want to thank our sponsors, Spancrete and the Nagy Family Foundation. They are proud supporters of our local artists and communities. Spancrete has been providing quality and innovative service since 1946, so thank you to Spancrete. And also North Coast Center for the Arts aspire to create an encouraging and safe environment for musicians of all levels to come and practice their craft. And we also have big socially distanced rooms, so if you want to find out more about us, northcoastcenter.org. Okay, so I will be back halfway through the show, but for now, cozy up, put your hands together, and enjoy an evening of great music by Phil Norby.
Thank you, Barbara. Well, thank you guys for having me tonight. Appreciate it. Got really dark all of a sudden. All right, well, I'm going to do like Barbara said, my album Pollywog came out 1 year ago on Tuesday, so I'm going to do a bunch of songs from that. A couple of my favorite covers, too. So here's one called Battle Cry Lullaby. Sing me to sleep, embrace me in the cradle of your song, till I'm lost in your melody. Hum it slow, hum it softly, keep me warm, keep me dreaming of tomorrow, make today a memory. Ba-da-da, 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 ba-da-da. Sing me to sleep, be the promiser and keeper of my dreams, and I'll follow where you lead. Hold me close, hold me tightly when I'm lost, when I'm raging and despondent, be the light that guides my way. Ba-da-da, 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 ba-da-da. In silence every hour of the day, try to keep me alive under these starlit skies. And when the light of day signals the dawn, sing me awake. I want to rise and feel the sunshine of your love every morning of my life. Ba-da-da, 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 Ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum. Thank you. Thanks, guys. That was the first one that I wrote for the album, actually. Well received, but yeah, here's one that I wrote for my wife after we got in a little. We don't fight a lot, but one night we did fight, and I was kind of a jerk. And this was my apology to her for it. It's called "I'm Not That Man." If I had to spend the rest of my life atoning for the handful of times that I couldn't quite make the words come out right, then I will. If I had to leave for the night to give you some space to unwind, then I will be back before the dew on the grass is gone, so I can say I'm sorry that I yelled, sorry that you cried. I wish you'd never have to see that ugly side of me. I can make it right, forgive me if you can, my love. Who the hell was I thinking it's alright to tell you that the way you feel is wrong? That wasn't the plan, you know me, I'm not that man. I can't excuse what I said. It sounded fine in my head. Well, there's a laundry list of stupid things you think I would have learned by now. I'm sorry that I yelled, sorry that you cried. I wish you'd never have to see that ugly side of me. I can make it right, forgive me if you can, my love. Who the hell was I thinking it's alright to tell you that the way you feel is wrong? That wasn't the plan, you know me, I'm not that man. Thank you. Thank you very much. I've done a lot of these live streams now. I'm not used to being, to not seeing the comments and stuff. So if anybody's heckling me, please let me know. I also can't see anything except for this far in front of me. Right? I know. So, a few years back, I joined a band called The Orphans, and I had a bandmate who was very good at finger-picking guitar, and I started getting into doing more and more of that. So I started getting into a lot of the old outlaw country guys, and
Lyle Lovett was one of them that I loved, and I picked this song up, and it's been kind of a staple ever since in my sets. So here's some Lyle Lovett.
If I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, I'd ride it on my boat. We could all together go out on the ocean, just me upon my pony on my boat. And if I were Roy Rogers, I'd sure enough be single. Couldn't bring myself to marry an old Dale. It would just be me and Trigger. We'd go riding through the movies. We'd buy a boat and on the sea we'd sail. And if I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, I'd ride it on my boat. Or we could all together go out on the ocean, just me upon my pony on my boat. The mystery masked man was smart. He found himself a Tonto, 'cause Tonto did the dirty work for free. But Tonto, he was smarter, and one day said, Kimosabi, kiss my ass, I bought a boat, and I'm going out to sea. And if I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, I'd ride it on my boat. We could all together go out on the ocean, and just me upon my pony on my boat. If I were like lightning, I wouldn't wear no sneakers. I would come and go wherever I would please. I'd scare 'em by the shade tree, I'd scare 'em by the light pole, and I would not scare my pony on my boat upon the sea. And if I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, I'd ride it on my boat. We could all together go out on the ocean, and just me upon my pony on my boat. Just me upon my pony on my boat.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Got a droopy mic stand here. We will persevere. So I did a when we were locked down, every Friday night was a 90s rock night, and I do, as much as I love a lot of the classic rock stuff, because that's what my dad was always listening to growing up. I'm definitely more of a 90s child than anything else, and I got to reconnect with a lot of my old favorites, and this was one of them. This is always a hidden gem to me, by a band called Collective Soul.
As our conscience shows, as the sweet breeze blows, as all kindness gone, hope still lingers on. I trick myself a newfound pity, sitting alone in New York City. I don't know why. Are we listening? Hymns of offering. Have we eyes to see? Love is gathering. All the words that I've been reading, and I started the act of bleeding into one. So I walk upon a height, and I step to the edge to see my world alone. And I lie to myself while the tears roll down. Is this the world I know? It's the world I know. Drink myself a newfound pity, sitting alone in New York City. I don't know why, don't know why. So I walk upon a height, and I step to the edge to see my world below. And I lie to myself while the tears roll down. It's the world I know. It's the world I know. Yeah, I walk upon a height, and I step to the edge to see my world below. And I lie to myself while the tears roll down. 'Cause it's the world I know. It's the world I know.
Thank you, thank you. When I learned that one for, while we were quarantined, I wondered whatever happened to Collective Soul. And I looked it up, and it turns out that the guitar player ended up having an affair with the lead singer's wife. I'm guessing there's not going to be a reunion tour anytime soon. Anyway, let's do another song off of Pollywog. This was just a fun little tune that I wrote about my wife and I being what I like to call middle class poor, but we make the most of it. Ended up being really well received. It's called Pearls. Hop inside, let's roll the windows down. Drive until we find ourselves a good time. Find a bar, enjoy the sights and sounds. Let's have ourselves a cocktail in the sunshine. Grab some ribeye,
is on the way back home. Fire up the grill under the moonlight. Sip some vino, stare up at the stars. Play some tunes and talk about our lives. I've heard that fancy folks like expensive food and wine. One day I'll make you a fancy kind of girl, but tonight let's give the cheap stuff a whirl. And I'll buy you roses if you wear your pearls. We can't buy expensive works of art, but I can write you songs and tell you bad jokes. Buy you earrings shaped like my guitars. Run you a bath and use the good soaps. Marilyn told me that diamonds are a girl's best friend. One day I'll make you a diamond kind of girl, but for now, let's live in our own little world, where I'll buy you roses if you wear your pearls. Shoulder length, golden hair, platinum, come hither, stare. As far as I'm concerned, I might as well be a millionaire. Everyone dreams about wealth and luxury sometimes, but when we awaken, we're back in the real world. I'll still be your guy, and you'll be my girl, and I'll buy you roses if you wear your pearls.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. This is the first song off the album. It's actually been the best, probably the best received of the album. Called Long Goodbyes. I made a lyric video for it in the middle of March, like right after we all got shut down, and it's got over 1,000 Facebook likes and stuff now. So this is about. I had a lot of friends that were. We've probably all seen them. We've probably all had a lot of friends that keep screwing up relationships, and then they keep blaming the other person for it, and never actually growing themselves. And I watched it happen to another friend of mine, and I finally sat down one day and was like, and this song came out of me in about half an hour. So this is called Long Goodbyes.
Said you're sorry, but you insisted you were right instead. You left with an empty dresser and a cold side of the bed. She's made up her mind to leave you, There ain't no point in breaking down. There's plenty of time for crying when she's no longer around. There ain't no time for long goodbyes. There ain't no time for long goodbyes. Off to a quiet corner to think of the ways you could improve. Reflect on mistakes that you've made instead of the ones that she made too. Tonight should drown your sorrows. Drink some brown and smoke some green. Start over fresh tomorrow with a slate that's been wiped clean. There ain't no time for long goodbyes. There ain't no time for long goodbyes. Gonna hear people tell you there's plenty of fish left in the sea, but try not to cast your line till you're the man you wanna be. There ain't no time for long goodbyes. There ain't no time for long goodbyes. It's time to move on with your life. There ain't no time for long goodbyes.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Such a different dynamic. You know, I've played over 200 shows a year for the last 7 or 8 years. You know, in front of people, and when I started doing these live streams, it was really odd. You know, at first sitting in my basement singing to my phone. But it was really cool. Like, I'd get done and I'd have all these messages and pictures of people's, like, kids standing in front of the TV watching me and stuff like that. And people from, you know, friends and relatives from all over the country, all over the world that don't get to see me a lot. And then eventually a bunch of strangers that I'd never met from Canada and Scotland. And that's what this is. So it's it kind of opened my eyes to this whole internet thing is a pretty powerful tool. So, are you guys? Do you see the comments and stuff over there? Yeah. Okay. All right. Nobody's talking too much trash about me or anything like that.
Mary Norby likes you quite a bit.
Oh, Mary Norby?
Yep.
Never heard of her. Hi, Mom. Yeah. Well, if Mom's watching, here is. We've got my son Adam, who's 9. He's a huge Beatles fan now. We've really gotten him into the Beatles, so I'm not screwing him up too bad. This is one of his favorite Beatles tunes here. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly. Blackbird fly into the light of the dark black night. Blackbird fly. Blackbird fly into the light of the dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. Thank you, thank you.
All right, everybody, give it up at home for Phil Norby. Hi, Phil. Hi.
Hello, Barbara.
It's really nice of you to be here with us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So let's just find out a little bit more about you for anyone else, out there who maybe doesn't know you so well. But I want to hear about Little Phil. And was guitar your first instrument? And just tell me about growing up and what got you interested in music.
Well, guitar was not my first instrument. Harmonica was my first instrument.
Okay.
When I was I think I was 12 when my mom bought me a harmonica. 'Cause I really wanted to play blues harmonica. I was a little white kid from the suburbs.
That explains a lot right there.
Yeah, right. So, but I had a friend, Mike, that played. One of my best friends played guitar, and we started jamming. And then, a year later, I started picking up guitar. Started taking it more seriously when I got to be 16, 17, and then by the time I was in college, I was spending a lot more time playing guitar than I was doing schoolwork.
Sure. Well, lucky for us, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what? That guitar made me more money than my college degree ever did. So.
Right. Well, that's good.
When I was little, I used to my dad grew up in Los Angeles and he was a huge Doors fan. And he went to college with Jim Morrison and saw the Doors.
Wow,
and
no kidding. No kidding.
And they always used to tell the story, my mom still, of he used to have these really nice, expensive biodynamic headphones. And when I was 3 or 4 years old, I'd be sitting and he had a CD player that was this big, and it played one disc and it had 5 buttons, but it was that big. and I'd sit and listen to the Doors and be singing the music, singing all the lyrics, but you know, they couldn't hear any of the music. They just heard me say, "Come on, baby, light my fire."
Oh, I bet that was so cute. Do they have video of that, by the way?
No, I don't think they do.
Shoot.
I don't think they do.
Shoot, that's too bad. So,
I'm sure it was
so
adorable.
were you were singing long before you picked up any instruments? Is that true? Because your
Yeah.
voice is amazing. Your voice
Well, thank
is
you.
really cool. And you know, I don't know. Are you just like all? Is it just all natural? Did you take voice lessons? Were you trained
I
in any
didn't.
way? Or no? That's awesome.
You know, I think
Yeah.
that part of the thing for me was that music was never a chore. It was always something I wanted to do. I never took the lessons. You know, when I wanted to sit and learn guitar, I sat down and I learned it. It was not like, you know, and that's why, you know, I take this approach when I try to like teach people or give people tips too, is like, you know, exercises can get you so far, but you got to like what you're doing. So I just tried to learn songs that I enjoyed, you know.
Yeah. And so, when did you start writing songs?
I think I wrote my first song when I was like 16 or something like that.
Excellent.
Yeah, about a
Well, and
girl
I-
that broke up with me.
What?
About a girl that broke up with me.
Right.
You know,
That's usually everybody's first song, right?
you know, 16 years old, worst day of my life.
Right. Well, and I can tell, you know, your influences because your chord progressions are so imaginative and intelligent and well thought out.
Thank you
And
very much.
you know, as someone who knows a little bit about music, like I really appreciate that about your style. And yeah, just the intelligence of the movement of the chord progressions is, I really appreciate that.
Oh, thank you very
Yeah.
much.
So who do you
That's
think is
awesome.
like your big influence with songwriting? I mean, I know there's got to be so many, but if one just sticks out for you, who would that be?
You know, I guess if I had to like, you know, choose a guy that choose a person since I've been, you know, doing the like really into songwriting, probably Neil Young if I had to choose one.
Okay,
You know, he's
yeah.
one of my favorites, but you know, I guess, you know, I had listened to my dad's music growing up, and I was a '90s kid, you know. And then there's a lot of modern music that I love as well. So I mean, the old stuff, I grew up with Led Zeppelin and the Beatles and the Eagles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then we get to the '90s, and you know, then there was Alice in Chains and Third Eye Blind and Pearl Jam and
Yeah.
yeah, and that kind of stuff. So I mean, it all. And I love it all, and I obviously play it all, but like when I'm sitting, I'm not thinking of any of that when I'm sitting playing the guitar, you know. So
Sure.
there was
Yeah.
a time where I think I did that, and I think you get to a point, you know, as a songwriter or an artist where you're not trying to sound like somebody anymore.
Yeah, hallelujah when that day comes, right?
And
Yeah.
that's a
yeah.
cool moment, and there's nothing wrong with trying to sound like somebody, you know. I think you have to start out at some point, and sometimes people just don't get there, you know.
Yeah.
But when you become serious about it, like we did, you know, eventually, that day that you find your own voice is pretty cool, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, how else can we support you? Of course, everybody go out and buy Polywog. And I have to say, too, I'm sure you're on Spotify and iTunes and all of that, but if you have a website, please, everyone, always buy the music from the local artists that you love from their website. Would you not agree?
Yes.
Yes.
That's definitely. You know, I understand, and I'm guilty of it too. It's so music is so easy to listen to right now, and it's awesome as a consumer that you can listen to all this different kind of music, you know.
Yeah.
But when we're independently produced artists, if you're listening on Spotify, we get 0.0016 cents per play.
Yeah, a lot of people just don't understand that, you know.
Yeah.
So, right.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, and I've had a lot of great, you know, I've a lot of great feedback, and I know a lot of people have been listening to the album, and I checked my royalties today from like Spotify and stuff, and I've made $117 in a year. So
Right. Yeah. So if you're gonna pick up Polywog, any of his music, just go right to the website.
philnorbymusic.com.
Excellent.
And I just
Great.
started a Bandcamp today, so if you go on Bandcamp, apparently this is kind of cool. Like you can still pay to download stuff, and you can buy the album or buy T-shirts from there and pay kind of what you want. You know,
That's
Not like
fantastic.
a minimum price, but if you want to support it, then great. You know.
Good, good, good. And speaking of that too, you can go to Venmo or PayPal and just make sure it's /ACA Performers. All of the proceeds from any donations tonight do go right to Phil. So once again, we're so glad that you're here. I'm going to turn back the music over to Phil in just a moment, but I want to talk about, I have this dry erase board here and I have to get a little bit closer. Tuesday, November 24th, we're going to have a bluegrass act here, the Radio Wranglers. We're very excited to have them here. And Saturday, November 28th, oh, this will be a lot of fun. So a couple of bands under North Coast Management, Platinum and Livin' the Dream, which I am fortunate enough to be a part of. We're going to do a huge live streaming event Saturday, November 28th in the evening. What time does that start, Matt? Probably like, it's at 8 o'clock. So that's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so everybody, I'm going to turn it back over to Phil and just enjoy the music. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Barbara. So I think she'd mentioned before, I was in a band called Ordinary Heathens. We recorded an album a few years back. It's a lot of fun. Friends Chris Crow and Joe Height, and yeah, we had good times. But Joe decided that he didn't like the cold anymore, and he moved to Florida. So we don't really do anything. But I actually was down there last week, and I had lunch with Joe. He's looking as ugly as ever. Yeah, we recorded an album. We won a Whammy Award for Best Americana Band. Nominated for Best Song, Best Album. This was one of my songs that I wrote on that album. We all sing on the album, lots of big harmonies and stuff. So check that out too if you get a chance. But this is one that I wrote for that album called Call Lilith.
Been here before. It seems like a million times, familiar but strange. The names are the only things that change. Gotta warn you, I might give you a bit of a fright. Sometimes when I sleep, argue with voices in my head. But if I scream loud enough, carry me home, carry me home. One day I might give my demons a fight, but it won't be today. If I scream loud enough, pick up my phone, and call Lilith. She's the one who made me this way. Another strange pillow, another strange bed, another night wasted constructing a puzzle without even knowing if all the pieces are there. I smell her dark hair as she lays on my chest. Recite the same warning I've told every bedmate before. If I scream loud enough, carry me home, carry me home. One day I might give my demons a fight, but it won't be today. If I scream loud enough, phone and call Lilith. She's the one who made me this way. When the lights go down, they all look the same, and there's only one name on my mind. She cast a spell on me, then she walked out of my life. If I scream loud enough, carry me home, carry me home. One day I might give my demons a fight, but it won't be today. If I scream loud enough, pick up my phone, pick up my phone. Call Lilith, she's the one who made me this way.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That one was always a lot of fun to play with when we got those 3-part harmonies on those. Good times with the Ordinary Heathens. I actually wrote a song called The Ballad of Joe Height that I posted on Facebook, but the lyrics I don't think are entirely appropriate for this broadcast. I played it for Barb before we started here. Totally not appropriate right now. It's appropriate for my Facebook page, so go to the Phil Norby Music Facebook page after this is over. Or my YouTube page is up there too. So I did have some time when my job was illegal for a little while there, to learn some of the stuff that I had been meaning to learn for a long time. And this was, Barb was asking me about all the old influence. I mentioned Neil Young and Jackson Browne was a big one too, and a lot of that Laurel Canyon kind of music. And Joni Mitchell was another one that I really liked, and this was my favorite Joni Mitchell tune, and I finally got around to working up a version of it. So.
Just before our love got lost, you said, I am as constant as a northern star. And I said, constantly in the darkness, where's that at? If you want me, I'll be at the bar, on the back of a cartoon coaster, the blue TV screen light. I drew a map of Canada, oh, Canada, with your face sketched on it twice. You're in my blood, you're like holy wine. You taste so bitter and so sweet. Oh, I could drink a case of you, darling, and I would still be on my feet. I would still be on my feet. I am a lonely painter, live in a box of paints. I am frightened by the devil, and I am drawn to the ones who ain't afraid. I remember that time you told me, you said love is touching souls. And surely you touched mine, because part of you pours out of me in these lines from time to time. You're in my blood, you're like holy wine. You taste so bitter and so sweet. Oh, I could drink a case of you, darling, and I would still be on my feet. I would still be on my feet. She had a mouth like yours, she knew your life. She knew your devils and your deeds, and she said, go to her, stay with her if you can, but be prepared to bleed. You're in my blood, you're like holy wine. You taste so bitter and so sweet. Oh, well, I could drink a case of you, I would still be on my feet. I would still be on my feet. Thanks. Thank you very much. What time we got here? Ooh. It flew past. 7:53 already. Well, I did mention Neil Young before. This one always goes over well. This is one of my favorites to cover live. Let me get some water quick here. Make sure I can hit the high notes. All right. This is one of, I think, my second favorite album of all time. Old man, look in my life. 24 and there's so much more. Live alone in a paradise that makes me think too. Love lost such a cost. Give me things that don't get lost, like a coin that won't get tossed, rolling home to you. Oh man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you. I need someone to love me the whole day through. I want to look in my eyes and you can tell that's true. Lullabies, look in your eyes, run around the same old town. It doesn't mean that much to me, doesn't mean that much to you. Well, I've been first and last, look at how the time goes past, but I'm all alone at last, rolling home to you. Old man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you. I need someone to love me the whole day through. I wanna look in my eyes and you can tell that's true. Old man, look at my life. I'm a lot like you were. Old man, look at my life. I'm a lot like you
Thank you, thank you. All right. We get time for one more then, huh? Cool. All right, well, I'll do another original. Yeah, it was an exciting anniversary. It kind of snuck up on me. Oh, you know, I was going to tell a story about Call Lilith real quick. I forgot to do that. So, actually, the day that we went into the studio, it was 2 weeks before my wife's due date for our son Henry, who just turned 4. And the plan was she was, going to run errands with her mom and stuff like that. And so we said, and the studio is right down the street from our house. I'm like, yeah, just, call me if you need anything. 2 weeks before the due date, not expecting anything. We get in there, we get set up. We set up ready to start recording scratch tracks. We've been there for like 45 minutes, and I get a phone call. And said, it's my wife, and everybody stopped. And for all of a sudden, this feeling came over, oh, right, this is really happening, isn't it? Sure enough, I answered the phone. She's like, my water broke. Oh. Okay. Then, so we were engaged at that point, but my wife had said about our wedding that she was not going to throw a big, giant, expensive party that she could not drink at. So we got married a little bit after Henry was born, and then we went on our honeymoon, and we went out to California, and we drove up. We flew into Vegas, rented a Mustang convertible, drove to Palm Springs, and then drove up the coast. And the day that we left to drive up the coast was the day that Tom Petty died. So we were driving through LA we drove past UCLA where his body was, and through Malibu where his home was and everything. So we didn't fight over the radio that day. This was when I got home. I wrote this song about the experience and the thought of us, growing old out there. Politics aside, it is quite a beautiful part of the world. So this one's called Golden Years.
Every now and then it feels like our new life together is burdened by a world that never rests. But in our golden years, there'll be nothing left to stop us from picking up our lives and moving west. Maybe we could find ourselves a place in Sausalito, just a roof, a bed, a bathroom, and a place to fix our meals. 20 minutes from the wharf, about an hour from Sonoma, we could have breakfast by the bay and eat lunch in Santa Rosa. Drive down to the valley and see all the sights that we forgot to see. Visit our friends out in the desert, Spend a day at Joshua Tree. Maybe meet a weathered Indian who would sell us some peyote. Soaking up golden sun, riding down the 101. Just a couple of old folks listening to Petty with the top down. The ocean air blowing through your silver hair, and the blue of your eyes a shade between the sky and the sea. Of course there'll come a day where one of us will lose to time. But if disease should ever start to take your body or your mind, you can take my hand, or we could jump into the ocean, start a tidal wave of our favorite emotion, and I'd embrace you one last time as we get swallowed by the sea. And I would smile as I kiss you, because I'll never have to miss you.
Well, thank you so much for having me, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you so much to Phil Norby for being here. Everybody give it up at home. Okay, so Phil, tell us your website again.
PhilNorbyMusic.com.
PhilNorbyMusic.com. Go to his website and buy his music. You can also support him, PayPal and Venmo /ACA Performers. All the proceeds do go right to Phil Norby. So
sign up for the email list too.
Oh, the email list. Yeah, that's really
it's
important.
on my Facebook page, on the website. Sign up on the email list.
Sign up on the
That's
email list.
all
Absolutely.
sorts of cool stuff, and keep up to date on everything that's happening. So.
Fantastic. Excellent. So we'll see you back here on Tuesday for the Radio Wranglers and Saturday for Platinum and Living the Dream. My name is Barbara Steffen. Thank you to Luis and Matt for making all of this possible. Everybody take care out there, and we'll see you next time.